Hi, let me tell you about another great Manning book, Hidden Influences, How Algorithmic Recommenders Shape Our Lives, written by Luca.
Recommender systems are the hidden tool behind our digital selves. What we see on social media feeds, what song we listen to next, who we date, and what hotels we see first are all determined by recommender systems. In that respect, recommender systems are not passive utilities that merely sort information. They are active architects of our digital reality, our identity, and, more broadly, our culture. The relationship between humans and recommender systems is a feedback loop in which the output of one serves as the input to the other. The algorithm presents recommendations, output to users, and their engagement, measured by likes, dwell time, and clicks, serves as the signal, input, to improve the recommendations themselves. Crucially, both entities update their state. The user evolves their preferences based on what they see. How often do we interact with new things on social media just because they were shown to us? While the algorithm updates its mathematical model to maximize future engagement. This creates a recursive environment where the system not only reflects user preferences, but also actively shapes them over time. This is the fundamental dynamic behind some of the most important, yet hardest to answer, questions. What does it mean for a recommender system to work properly? If recommendation systems distribute attention and exposure, how much of it should be considered organic? And when does an algorithm start to play a role similar to an editor, by pushing specific content to users? And possibly even more importantly, what is the right way of measuring exposure? So, why are algorithmic recommendation systems so difficult to reason about? At its core, an algorithm is simply a sequence of instructions that transforms inputs into outputs, much like a recipe transforms raw ingredients into a pizza. When dealing with computers, the list of instructions is usually a sequence of mathematical transformations. For example, the formula to transform Celsius to Fahrenheit is an algorithm. Unlike static formulas, however, modern recommender systems utilize machine learning to infer users' preferences from historical data. Their goal is to order items according to a specific optimization criterion, usually engagement. The black box nature of this process means that while the mathematical objective is clear, the specific rationale for ranking item A over item B is often opaque even to developers. Ultimately, we are asking whether such optimization targets tend to favor and give more exposure to specific content. This is a vital question, especially when dealing with political content that shapes the future of our democracies, or professional content creators whose livelihoods depend on recommender systems. One of the goals of this book is to present the nuance behind such questions and provide the necessary technical details to help understand what is happening behind the scenes. Hidden Influences is divided into 4 parts. We'll take a peek under the hood at how recommender systems work, how we can measure them, their impact on society, and what may await us in the future as these systems advance into every aspect of our daily lives. As we explore these topics, we'll cover important questions like, what happens when you request a fresh feed from your social media app? What are the repercussions of technology's increasing influence over society? How do tech companies operate, and what incentives motivate them? And more. By the time you've finished Hidden Influences, you'll be able to have a clear understanding of how recommender systems work, why their measurement are so complex, and how to measure their impact.
Get this book at Manning.com